Guys, I can't believe it. How am I doing this on my beginner account that is not even 30 days old yet? And this team is also free to play, kinda. So let's talk about it. This is currently my beginner Giants Abyss Heart team, probably the best free to play team out there if you manage to summon the Wind Ifrit early on. So I summoned the Wind Ifrit a couple hours ago, 2 weeks into the game from doing the guild activity, every single one of them, okay? Lab, Rival, War Guild Battle, Siege, whenever you can get your hands on some guild points, you're gonna grab them. And I managed to summon the Wind Ifrit early. But if you don't have the Wind Ifrit early on because you summoned Tessarian or Theomas, there are other options as well. I was running a different version of this very similar team just yesterday before I managed to get the Wind Ifrit, and the runtime was not too bad as well. But with the Wind Ifrit, I managed to get a couple sub 1 minute run because of the AoE damage that helped me to clear the trash wave even faster, and the Wind Ifrit skill 2 can also do very good damage on the boss. In previous video, we already talked about Triple S Rift Beast team, so you can get your Wind Homunculus very early into the game as well, and the rest of the component are very free to play friendly unit. And because I managed to farm Dragon Abyss Heart very early into the game because that was the easier route, I have all the good runes available for my Giants Abyss team immediately. So the runtime for this team is about 1 minute-ish. But where did that 38-second run come from? We're going to talk about that, don't worry. But first, let's get to the rune of these units. Firstly, we have the defense breaker fastest in the team being Belladeon on a speed, HP. Whatever your runes you can get your hands on to give this guy the fastest speed on the team. He's going to defense break, he's going to heal when you need to, he's going to strip when you need to when the boss get the attack buff. So he's going to be the best unit for any starter team out there to provide his support. He doesn't need Second Awaken because it doesn't really change much about him. He is more than good enough, so it's going to stay like this for a very long time. I also have a Prelia 6-star, but I don't plan to switch her in because her defense break is also single target, so she doesn't bring anything that Bella didn't bring already. It's just that she's a bit more consistent, but my team is not like a super fast team that requires me to land defense break every time. I don't have to use her just yet. Next up, we have the Veromos on the Violence set, speed, crit damage, and attack. It doesn't have to be attack, it can be whatever. Attack help with the skill 1 damage a little bit, but the main bulk of damage gonna come from the skill 2. So whatever you can get your hands on to get the max crit rate, you're good to go. And you need damage in your artifact as well. I show in previous video of the series that you can farm the left side artifact Abyss Heart very easily with Ling Ling. You can check that out, and you can get your hands on some good artifact too. And next up, we have the Wind Ifrit, the AoE damage dealer on the Fatal set, attack, crit damage, and attack. He used to be on a random whatever set, but as I farm a lot of giants immediately after I can farm the giants fast, I get my hands on some new Fatal rune like maybe this one and some other one in the other unit as well, like the Wind Homunculus, who's using the Fatal set as well, attack, crit damage, and attack. You can farm this very quickly, and unluckily, my Wind Homunculus skill up didn't went into the skill 2 and 3, so the runtime can be even faster if this guy has lower cooldown on the skill, because sometime in the boss stage, he spams skill 1 because he doesn't have any other option. And lastly, we have my Crow on random set. The Wheel rune is preparation for solo R5. It doesn't have to be on Wheel, it doesn't make a difference. Attack with damage and attack. I try to get him some accuracy so that he can land branding. The good thing about Giants is that it doesn't have very high resistance, so you don't need crazy accuracy. But before I got the Wind Ifrit, I was using this unit because I got this unit a couple days ago. Very happy because he's a very good unit for Giants Abyss Heart as well. I was using Despair because when he uses the AoE skill, he can stun the Golem or the Crystal so that they don't attack me and waste my time freezing or slowing my team down. So speed, crit damage, and attack for this guy. He can also a very good unit for your Giants team if you are struggling with getting your unit fast, because a speed buff is going to help your unit to move more often and allow you to not get attacked by the golem, freezing you and waste a lot of time. He himself is a very good damage dealer for the boss and the mid boss as well. Sometimes he can stack enough dots so that the mid boss will die with a lot of HP left, which is amazing. And he also brings the branding that can really help with the Wind Homunculus damage. Being a wind unit, he will not get frozen easily, so he doesn't get wasted turn being frozen, that kind of stuff. and being on despair, he's gonna be an amazing unit. And every one of you guys will get a free despair set you can put on him. If you can find a crit damage rune to put on him so that he can deal real damage, that's gonna be even better. But without damage, he can already help with the speed buff and also the branding for the boss stage. So very good unit. I managed to get 1 sub-minute run with this guy on the team, but I couldn't get any further because compared to Wind Ifrit, he doesn't do that kind of damage and that kind of AoE damage the Wind Ifrit can do. So he would not allow you to get the super fast run, but he is a very good unit. If you manage to summon him, you can use him before you get yourself the Wind Ifrit. But how did I get that 38-second run right there? I was shocked as well because I recorded this video before I got that run, and because I got that run, I decided to do this video all together again. So I got a bit curious and 5-star built up my Galleon without any real skill up in there. Unfortunately, we got this one in the middle skill that doesn't do anything at all. I just put the Belladeon runes on him so that he can provide as a defense breaker, and he managed to land defense break. So you don't have to land all the defense break to actually do good damage because of the attack buff can already help a lot. And it's just a little bit lack of consistency, but he can already make my run so much faster if he used that time to loot in the trash wave. Compared to Belladeon, I think he's not going to make the team safe because there's no healing coming out from him at all. But for the most part, I don't really need the healing. In the boss stage, I also don't need to survive because if I can do some damage to the boss and the Wind Homunculus die, come back, it will clear the boss on its own. So I don't actually need to survive. But I haven't run this team long enough to decide whether it is good enough to use. But so far, it seems, and that is where it's gonna get a little bit shaky. So with Galleon, it is not gonna be safe because my Galleon is not max skill. And in the trash wave, things might get a little bit shaky. But I can feel that the moment I get my Galleon built properly with skill up, I think we're gonna get a much faster runtime for my Giants team as well. And Galleon max skill might not be something too hard to achieve. Or maybe it is really hard. I'm not too sure because 4-star skill up in the early game is one of the biggest problem that I find playing Summoner Sword as a beginner. Because most of your Devilmon will be dedicated to 5-star unit that you own, like Veromos, like Wind Homunculus, Wind Ifrit, or any other thing you can get your hands on. But putting Devilmon into this guy, I'm not sure if that is going to be worth it, to be honest. Because there are so many more projects that I have to put my Devilmons into. Also, I want to share quickly that I got my first 9 win in World Guild Battle. I didn't get 10 wins, but we got 9 because I have no idea how to deal with the Orion one because I don't have the Win Joker just yet. But if I had a Win Joker, I think we can probably win the middle match as well. So we got 4 wins in there and we managed to get 5 wins in here. So that's my first 9 win in World Guild Battle. Very happy about that. In Siege, I didn't manage to do much. And remember to always do your guild rival as well. That's how I get my hands on the first Ifrit summon as quickly as possible. Now let's revisit the profile page. We just got into a new day. So I've been playing for 16 days, but realistically I say 14 to 15 days. And for all the dungeon time, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. We haven't done really well in the Necro and the Punisher Crypt department just yet because I don't have the Second Awakened Ikaru, and he is a very important component in both of these dungeons. So when I get that done, I think we're gonna get a very good runtime for the other 2 dungeons as well. For the Rift, I'm still not able to do solo R5 just yet, but solo R4 is very easy at the moment. So when I need some grinds, I'll go into R4 a little bit. And if I get my hands on some R5 run with a random stranger, that's going to be great, but doesn't happen very often. We have triple S in all the beasts after I got the Wind Barbarian King because he helped a lot in the ice and the light beast section thanks to the attack buff and the raw damage that he can do as well. So I can confidently say that all Rift beasts is achieved with triple S very, very easily. And that's going to allow you to get your reapps and also potentially get the support homunculus as well. And that's going to be amazing because that unit is incredible on its own. We have no clear, no whatever thing in this page because realistically, I think you will never need to farm any runes in these dungeons at all for the first 3-4 months because there are so many two-way you have to actually make for PvE, for PvP, so you will not need to get any ancient rune whatsoever, especially if you're a budget player. The two-way units you have to build are insane. Check out some two-way tier lists in 2024, 2023, and you will see the amount of two-way you have to build, and that is just mind-blowing. So we don't have to care about any rune farming in any of that just yet. Maybe I will do a little bit to get my hands on the scroll right here, but I don't really need that. I might need the 300 crystal though, but still, I don't think I'm gonna need that too much. Also today, I ran out of crystal. I was at a point where we just ran out of crystal. I had 0 crystal to farm and I don't know what to do. I thought I'm gonna make a video saying that, hey, the series is going to end because I physically can't play the game unless I spend money, which is kind of a shame. But then my guildie remind me that, hey Sean, do you know that you have 2,000 crystal sitting right in front of you all this time? And I was like, nani? And boy, we have so much crystal to get from this content. So I got 1,000 plus here, and some of these are actually quite challenging, and I'm gonna give up for real. I'm gonna go on Reddit, I'm gonna search how to do this, and I'm gonna follow, because I'm kind of stupid. In some of these I managed to clear more than half already, but some are just really challenging and I'm too lazy to figure that out myself. So 2,000 crystal waiting for me in there. I think 1,000 left pretty much, and we can farm a little bit more and maybe get a bit more progression. But right now my biggest progression block is going to be this area of the game where I have to wait. There's nothing I can do. I don't want to spend crystal on refreshing energy. If I get this guy next week, we're gonna unlock Necro and we're gonna unlock the Punisher Crypt Abyss as well. And I think that is pretty much every single PvE done in this game at the moment. And I've also tried to dip in this area a little bit, and we got to like 3/4 of all of this thing. So not too bad. We got some good stuff in here already, which is not too shabby for an early game account. And I guess the last thing to do is gonna be the PvP, which is really hard. I think Arena is probably the hardest PvP content for an early game player, because you need many specific units to excel in this area. Unless you have insane rune, then you can also be high rank with free-to-play unit. But it requires speed lead, it requires very specific team. I'm not sure if we're gonna get C1 or not, but I'm gonna try. And then we got RTA as well, and then we got guild content that I have to deal with. I think G1 is a bit too high for an early game account. Maybe a P3 guild is gonna make more sense, but the people in here are nice, so I'm gonna stay here until the very end of this account probably. And that is the update for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let's check out the runtime. As long as we don't fail, I think that's gonna be okay. But the 38-second run, man, I can't believe my eye, bro. I think Bella is gonna be more consistent. The runtime for Bella team is really on the dot, like a minute average. This one's either really fast or not fast at all, because Galleon is just pretty stupid. Not sure if I'm gonna max kill Galleon with a Devilmon. Probably not though. Probably not. But I'll think about it, and I'll let you know in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.